Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel English with Rimjim Kinsaria. Please like and subscribe my channel ताकि आप लोगों को जो मैं नई वीडियोस डालूंगी या जो भी नई वीडियो अपलोड करूंगी वो उसके नोटिफिकेशंस आपके पास आ जाएंगे. आप लोगों को परेशान होने की जरूरत नहीं होगी, सर्च नहीं करना होगा, सीधा आपके पास वीडियो आएगा. सो प्लीज लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब माई चैनल. एंड टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू बिगिन विद आई फेल्ट अ फ्यूनरल इन माई ब्रेन. आई फेल्ट अ फ्यूनरल in my brain is again Emily Dickinson's another poem. Okay, let's begin with first of all let me read the poem for you. Okay, firstly the title of the poem is I felt a funeral in my brain, and the poem goes as I felt a funeral in my brain, and mourners to and fro kept treading till it seemed that sense was breaking through. And when they all were seated, a service like a drum kept beating till I thought my mind was going numb. And then I heard them lift a box and creak across my soul with those same boots of lead again. Then space began to toll, as all the heavens were a bell, and being but an ear, and I and silence, some strange race we wrecked solitary here. And the last stanza goes as, and then a plank in reason broke, and I dropped down and hit a world at every plunge, and finished knowing then. What a beautiful poem once again. बहुत ही सुंदर पोम है. और ये पोम जो है आपकी रेफरेंस टू यूजी और पीजी स्टूडेंट्स के लिए रेफरेंस टू कॉन्टेक्स्ट के हिसाब से बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. ठीक है, और इस पोम में जो है सारी स्टैंजाज ही कोई से भी स्टैंजा से आपके पास रेफरेंस टू कॉन्टेक्स्ट का जो है क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. तो आप लोग इस पोम को आई सजेस्ट कि अच्छे से पढ़ें फ्रेंड्स, ताकि चीजें अच्छे से क्लियर भी हो जाए. और ये पोम जो इतनी सुंदर पोम है आप लोगों को इसको रीड करके अच्छा भी लगेगा, आई एम श्योर. So let's begin. This poem can be interpreted into two perspectives. One from the dead person and another from the people who are associated with the dead. In the first stanza, the poet says that she feels a funeral in her brain. Then she says that there are mourners who are walking back and forth. The mourners are constantly walking there, due to which she feels that her senses are going numb, as she is sitting there and watching people, or maybe the senses of the dead person are getting numb or unconscious due to the continuous movement of the mourners. It shows that poet is attending a funeral, or maybe she is imagining her own funeral. In the second stanza, she states that when all the mourners were settled down at their seats, the ritual started to perform like a drum, which was constantly beating till her mind became numb. As she has lost her loved one, she has used the word drum, that is a symbol of hollowness. Underline this line, that is drum is the symbol of hollowness. It refers to the hollowness which comes in the life of a person after the death of his loved one. Further, the poet in the third stanza says that suddenly she heard people lifting the box or coffin, as now they were carrying away the coffin to the graveyard. As soon as they lifted the coffin, she feels a creak across her soul, as her soul is also going away with the dead person. Another meaning of this line, and creak across my soul, is the soul of the dead person is trying to get out of the body. Then again she hears the sounds of the boots, and it's so heavy, as the boots have been made of lead. As the dead body was taking to wamble, it can also mean that the space which the dead person has created in the hearts of his close relatives will be shackled. Further in the line, as all the heavens were as a bell, the poet somehow gives a Christian reference as in the ancient time, whenever somebody died, the bell used to toll in order to inform the people. Thus, the poet refers that too many sounds can be heard in the funeral procession and the dead body is going to be buried. Then she says, there is going to be a strange race between the person who has died and the silence on the other hand. This strange race will also be between the bereaved and silence. In both situations, obviously, the silence is going to win. As when the poet will be buried, there will be nobody except, and in the same way, the bereaved will also have to lead life without that particular person. So silence will remain in her life forever. Hence, both of them have faced the similar silence and isolation in circumstances. In the last stanza, the poet expresses that as a dead person is going to be buried, his or her all reason and intellect will come to an end after this. Then she says that she is dropping down by the people in her grave, and as soon as the dead body was placed by the people in the earth, she feels as if she has been entered into a new world in which she has to live now after death. It also refers that it should be new world for them also who have lost the person, as now they have to live their lives without him or her. And as the dead has been buried in the grave now, or graveyard now, all her reminiscences and secret memories will also come to an not secret memories, it's sweet memories will also come to an end. Hence, both the bereaved and the person who dies have to face same kind of despair and lead their lives in isolation and gloominess. So this is the explanation of the poem. Let's see the poetic devices or the poetic qualities which has been used in this poem. Capitalization of words such as funeral, brain, sense, etc. Use of metaphor. Emily has used metaphors in this poem. Personification. Silence has been personified in this poem. Emily in her original poems avoided using grammatical punctuation marks except hyphens, जिसे आप dashes भी कहते हैं. The end of the poem hyphens, HYPHENS. The end of the poem is ambiguous and its end with the hyphen followed by hyphens. The poem is written in one long single sentence connected with 13 commas. How many commas? 13 commas. Dickinson's poems lack titles, as I told you in earlier lectures. Repetition of words such as treading, beating and beating has been used. And the tone of the poem is, yeah, you're right, it's so lame. And in this way, we have completed this poem. I felt a funeral in my brain. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please like and subscribe my channel. Thanks a lot.